Okay, let's figure out how to make semiconductors. Example 1. I'm going to add 0 and 0. So switch 1 is set to 0, switch 2 is set to 0. The answer, of course, is 0. They simply stop there. 2. Let's use a new technology that combines a type of light semiconductor. For the first calculation, I'm going to add 0 and 1. For the second calculation, I'm going to add 0 and 1. The answer is 1 twice. Yeah, intelligent people, that's not stupid. 3. Let's pretend I'm in fairyland and add 0 and 1. See, the fairy did some math for me. If something called multiple dimensions exists, we have a thing. Yeah, now we know why Bell Labs may have run into a problem. We will not make an error that the Chinese made for a long time. They used this understanding. Basically, it was this. If the computer is running a computer processing operation at the same time a couple is having sex, they get more benefit than if they just sat in a room while the computer was running. That led to a common misconception over there that there must always be a team of dancing women on the premises. That is not necessary. 4. Let's repeat the first experiment, but this time result in 1. 0, 1. Note I have more than just the answer. I have some static around here. That's how we actually communicate with the fairyland and train fairies. Using correct training and knowledge of training methods, a variety of tasks can be accomplished using semiconductors. It turns out that NVIDIA is real. That little platinum thing is, that might be called a fairy portal. NVIDIA graphics are computed in fairyland. Sorry. Combinations of misapplication and fear very likely have led to an inefficiency problem. That will be corrected in the newest line of RIOAN semiconductors. Hopefully, how a semiconductor can possibly perform billions of computations on a piece of metal which cannot possibly be etched to some silly nonsense of pitometers. Hopefully that makes more sense. Very little math is actually performed on the metal plates. Words like silicon, geraniums, and certain parts of diodes are fantasy, please. This requires some research, but very likely the use of gold filaments will simply try to get the fairies' rings. We're gonna have problems there. Entering the fairy world is possible. It can be done using equipment such as this RIOAN doll, which calls a fairy with appropriate programming. The previous girl seen in a recent science disclosure shows a successful attempt of communicating with that world. Major communications are seen in the sky above Texas as light points. The best thing to assume right now is that those are simply existences of light, that they do not map to any physical object. The properties that appear seem to suggest that they are basically direct writes into the fabric of our universe from other universes. There are a few other possible explanations. We will keep an eye very closely on that. The global aura is a result of the mass writing of data into the sky. And we're monitoring that situation too. We're not stupid. The nuclear holocaust of the 1950s very likely was the result of not treating this stuff correctly, as that was when the research started. Thank you. Yeah, the explosion are probably the result of people trying to enslave the fairies. Yeah, I think you can do it, whatever. Here's an explanation of the parallel dimensions. This is a video, please, of a flower. This is a video of, some things, please, using a seesaw. This video shows how I learned something despite the fact that, for all practical purposes, nothing in this video has to exist. Please, because it's a copy. Please remember that computer circuits only process, abstract information and math. I'm not going to teach people how to actually interact with fairies because that's dangerous. As it's blowing stuff up. Raw communication with the fairies can easily lead to a public hazard, and no public versions of real equipment will allow that. AI is always filtered. Programmers use languages such as C or Fortran or systems such as HTML, CSS to program computers, as has been done before. Note that the 8088 and 8086 and 386 and Pentium and higher AMD instruction sets are in the process of being retired. This is what we call Fairycaster, please, machine code looks like, because we like things that make sense. Seriously. Those who need or want to use the traditional languages, of course, can do so using appropriate, plugins. This false color image was done in Fairyland for obvious reasons. There's no reasonable explanation for a human specifying RGB filters actually produced this for the previous image. Seriously, I not spent 10 years figuring this out or do a pixel by pixel. Seriously. Copyright 2025 RioAir. Product of USA, the world leader in artificial intelligence. Global patent 3. Distribution, Google, LLC.